everybody, Gianna Cambria here from Upper Hand Creative, and today we're talking about why you absolutely need to brand your social media accounts if you haven't done this already. So a lot of what I'm talking about today, I walk you through step by step in our free ebook, which you can get down below. I'll post a link to that here in the show notes as well. But essentially, the Entrepreneur's Ultimate Guide to Building an Online Brand will walk you through everything I'm talking about here. I'm just kind of giving the background of why this is important. So if you're listening to this wondering how you're going to make this happen, I would highly suggest grabbing that ebook, because by the end of completing those 7 steps within that book, you'll have everything you need to properly brand your social media accounts. Why should we think about branding our social media accounts? Well, first, we know the power of social media. It increases our audience. It helps us build traffic, helps us funnel traffic into whatever our offer is, to our websites, to wherever we want to send them, and we can convert them right through social media into traffic that we own through different techniques. But essentially, when you brand your social media, you're increasing your ROI, bottom line, right? You're putting time into this, you're putting effort into this. Some of you are putting money into it. If you're running paid ads, you might as well do it right so that you can maximize whatever resources that you're spending, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's both. So the first thing with branding your social media account is it's going to help you stand out from the crowd. We know how many small businesses there are. It's like 50 million plus right now that are on Facebook alone in the US. So there is a ton of competition out there, and likely, no matter how great your idea is, your product, your service, likely there is somebody else that's doing something similar, something that a customer might get confused. So you have to find a way to stand out from the crowd, to find your people, right? That's what branding does. It allows you to humanize whatever you're doing, your product, your service, whatever it is that you're building, allows you to humanize that so that you can build a connection with your audience. It helps you attract the ideal people to you, and those are the people more likely to spend money. So that's number one. It helps you stand out from the crowd and it helps you reach the people that you're truly trying to speak to. Number 2, this is something we've been talking a lot about recently, but it's building trust between you and your audience. So when they come to follow you, whether it's on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever you are, wherever you're housing your content, when they come to follow you, it's not just because of your product or service. Sometimes they follow you, depending on what content you're posting, and they don't even know what you're selling. That's what you want, right? Because now they're coming to you for other things. They want to know what your life is like. If you're the face of your brand, what other areas of your life are you sharing on social media? They want to know about you. Even if you're not the face of your brand and you just have a product or, a service, and that's kind of the front line, they still want to know the connection, the human behind that. Finding different ways to show other aspects of your business. So not just what we do in our product and our service and the features and the benefits, but who we are. How do we interact as a team? Do you do service work? Are you going on vacation somewhere? Documenting these different pieces of your business are really going to make an impact on the people that you're trying to reach. They're gonna build trust with you because they get to know you more. So the more that you show, the more vulnerable you are on social media, the more people are going to come to connect with you and trust you. And when people trust you, they move through your sales funnel that much quicker, right? If there is no trust, they do not make a purchase, bottom line. And so that is the foundation, the reason that we do everything we do, of the reason that we post content as an online business, as an entrepreneur, the reason that we get on social media, the reason that we think about branding, the reason that we think about what colors we're using, the layout, all of these different things go into building trust. And when you build trust, you have a customer for life, because they're going to go to you over, even if it's an underpriced competitor, even if it's a lower priced competitor. No matter what, they're going to go to you because they trust you and they know what they're getting. So trust is huge, and you do that through branding your social media accounts. The other part of that is it allows you to appear consistent across all platforms. So if you're using multiple platforms or even just one between your posts, you sound and look the same, which not only allow people to easily recognize you, but also they trust you more. It's just like a person, right? When a person knows what they stand for, what they believe in, and they show up with that every day, and it's not a new thing that they believe in or they change their beliefs every other day, you feel comfortable around them. You want to be around them. There's something attractive about that. So you need to find a way to get that same feeling through to your audience from your brand. Okay, the third, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons, is it helps you to increase reach and awareness. Why? Because social media platforms want to create a good user experience so that users will stay on the platform longer, so that they'll see more ads, so that they can sell more ad space, aka make more money. right? That's how it works. To do that, they modify the experience that the user is having. So if there are things that are regularly popping up in a news feed that user doesn't find valuable, isn't engaging with, or maybe even worse, causes them to leave the platform and go somewhere else, then they're going to shut that down. Right? And how you overcome that is you add value to your audience. So you've got to be creating content of value, and when it's branded, it has a higher perceived value because visually it looks better and it sounds better. And so as humans, we're judgmental, right? We're visual creatures. We can't help it. It's in our DNA that we make an impression based on a visual piece of information. So we do make judgments based on how things look. We make judgments on things' value based on how they look. That's why your product or service, everything that you put out from your brand has to look and sound good so that audience has a higher perceived value for you. And when you're adding actual value to their feed, they're gonna wanna engage with you. They're gonna share it with their friends. They're gonna comment, they're gonna like it, they're gonna save it, they're gonna download it. Those things, say to Facebook, say to Instagram, say to Twitter, say to YouTube, say to LinkedIn, hey, these are things people want to see. This is what we want to keep on our platform. So they're going to show it to a larger audience. That's how their algorithms work. There's a lot of complexities obviously that go within that, but basically the foundation is, are you creating things that people need, that solve their problem? And they have to know that it solves their problem by getting attention. And they have to know that it solves their problem by it catching their attention, first of all. So branding will help it catch their attention, stop their scroll, right? Grab them out of whatever they're doing, and will also give them higher perceived value so that they feel that it can actually solve their problem and that it's something of quality. So the fourth thing is securing top of mind and recall. This is huge, right? And I don't believe in brand awareness campaigns. I don't think you should be spending money on that. That's a whole nother video. But essentially, top of mind recall is huge. So if nobody knows you exist and suddenly they realize they have a problem that your service or product solves, they're not going to think of you, right? They're going to think of the other sign that they saw driving down the street, or the other Facebook ad that they saw, or the other piece of content, or the other blog that they came across the other day. Hey, what was that company that does the thing that I need right now? Oh yeah, let me go check them out, right? The more we can get in front of them and the more they recognize us, the more they'll be able to recall us so that when they do get to a point where they need our solution, we're the first ones they think of. And if your social media accounts aren't branded, they're not going to recognize you. If you look like a green post one day and a blue post, and obviously I'm simplifying this way down, but you get the idea, right? If you look one way one day and another way another day, they're not going to recognize that that's the same company, the same brand, and you're going to have a harder time building a relationship with them. You know, it's like if you were to walk into a room full of strangers one day and build relationships with them, and then you come back and you shaved your head, it's going to take them a little while to recognize you, right? And they're going to wonder what's going on, and then you come back the next day with blue hair. Brand is human. It relates right back to society and to how people interact with each other. Consistency is key in building that relationship, but in more importantly, giving them top of mind recall. They need to easily be able to know the name and what you do and where to find you, right? And that's what good branded social media accounts will do. And the fifth of why you should brand social media, this one ties into a little more of brand voice and how you sound and what you say on social media, but transparency. And transparency is another way to build trust. So when you are vulnerable on social media, when you show other aspects of your business, or you're an entrepreneur of you personally and your life, and you show other things that you're doing, and don't just post the same product or service content all the time, you're giving people a full view of who you are. You can also use social media to own up to any mistakes and show weaknesses, right? That builds trust with people. It helps them relate to you. So when you do that, when you're transparent on social media, you build trust, which leads to more sales. So when you are transparent on social media, you build trust. And to be transparent on social media, that needs to be done in a consistent voice. You know, the way that you speak on Twitter should be consistent with how you speak on Instagram, should be the way that you speak in your blogs or your Facebook lives, right? All of these things should be consistent. You should identify your brand voice. And again, if you need help with that, check out our ebook down below, The Entrepreneur's Ultimate Guide to Online Branding. We'll walk you through that process. But those are the 5 keys to why you should brand your social media. So think about that. I also did another post on the one thing you need before you start publishing on social media. Again, all these things are included. That you walk you through it in that ebook down below. But you need that brand book before you start posting as well, and that will help you brand your social media accounts consistently. All right, I'll see you next time.